All right, just like yesterday, quick inventory. How are we feeling? Are we slowly?
You know what? My calves feel better now than when I came in.
Hey, there we go. A little improvement. But how are we? All right?
Yes.
We all right? So, what I'm trying to do with these talks, specifically what we're doing for a topic today, which is supplements. Talk about things that are like valuable to you without you guys going to GNC and thinking you need to spend hundreds of dollars on supplements. You're going to notice a common theme between all of these talks. So yesterday we talked about fish oil and the value in fish oil as a supplement. What I'm trying to get you to do is realize that, like, before we worry about any supplementation, we need to fix what we are putting in our faces in terms of food. It all starts with food. You cannot supplement your way to health. You have to start with food. So just like yesterday, we're looking for whole, unprocessed foods that are of balanced macronutrient content and are ideally low glycemic in most instances. Now, today's topic is vitamin D. Hot button topic because we're getting into that time of year where we see zero sunlight in our neck of the woods. But what's really interesting to see about vitamin D is that when you can be outside, it is the most beneficial way to get vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is essentially looked at inside your body when it's processed as a hormone, no different than like testosterone, estrogen, growth hormone, things of that nature. Josh, you mind killing that fan for me? Yeah. What's really neat though, unlike the other supplements, you can like manufacture vitamin D out of thin air by getting in the fucking sunlight. Get outside every single day. Now, ideally a day where there's sunshine, like today, but even when it's cloudy, there's still value in getting outside. And what we're looking for is somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes every single day outside. That's kind of the range of time needed to be outside to reap the benefits of sunlight. The more of you that's exposed to the sunlight, the better. But even if it's super duper cold, like the middle of February, going outside and just having only your face exposed is extremely valuable. They did a study in Norway during the winter and found that folks who spent 15 to 30 minutes outside getting sunshine only on their face got somewhere between 10,000 and 20,000 international units of vitamin D. And for example, if you go to like GNC, you're gonna see supplements for vitamin D anywhere from like 250 to like 5,000. So you're getting like 40x what you could get in a pill from just being outside in the sunshine. And if you are to take a vitamin D supplement, you want to look for something in like the 5,000 to 10,000 IU range. Seems like a lot, and it is a lot. But that's for two reasons. First, where we live. We live in a part of the world that doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight because of where we live latitudinally, I think that's the right word. And this time of year, this part of the earth is angled away from the sun, so we get even less of it. So the first reason is because where we live. We live in the Northeast, we don't get a lot of sun. If you're curious to see how much that matters, there's a really cool app you can get on your phone called D-Minder. It's a free app. And it will literally tell you the time of day, each day, where you can receive the most vitamin D. And there's levels where like, here's a benefit and here's not. So like right now, if you go outside, sun's just set, you might be able to get a teeny tiny bit if you're lucky. But if you don't see the sun, you're probably not getting some. And realize that like the vitamin D you receive at like noon when the sun is direct over you versus at 3 o'clock when it's starting to set is different. That impacts how much vitamin D you will get absorbed through your skin. And then second reason is why you might care. If you have deficiency, you're gonna have dysfunction. So if you're low in vitamin D, it's gonna fuck you up. It just is, sorry, it's what happens. Some of the things that can happen first, and this is honestly not a big concern these days, but like way back when, if you live in the Northeast and you didn't have access to things like milk and dairy products, you get this thing called rickets, which are deformed bones, weak bones, brittle bones, bones that would break very easy. Thankfully, we live in a world now where vitamin D is very cheap and dairy products are widely available. But that is a concern you can have if you are not getting the amount of vitamin D you need to synthesize essentially all the hormones that allow you to build strong bones and healthy muscles. But weak bones is an issue. Second thing, decreased muscle mass. Vitamin D is directly related to your sex hormones, which helps you create muscle mass. See? Stop putting the sunscreen on. Bad for you. That's what it is. It's only the sunshine. That's all you need. Another thing that's going to happen, again, we just talked about, is decreased hormone production. Vitamin D is synthesized into cholesterol, which is synthesized into a lot of other hormones. So it's important you get enough vitamin D so you have normal hormone profiles. People who are low in vitamin D report more fatigue. They're tired more often. They're more often depressed. Who here has a little bit of mood swings when it gets dark and sad outside? I fucking do. I definitely notice that I get what's called seasonal affective disorder, which means when it's less sunshine outside, I don't feel as cheerful as I do when it's July and it's nice outside. Well, one way I can work on that is to spend more time outside, even if it's really fucking cold, getting vitamin D on my skin. And then also, lower vitamin D levels are also associated with increased cancer. So by getting more vitamin D, you decrease your cancer risk. And I know some of you are really against supplements. So you can find vitamin D in foods. It's just not the easiest thing to do and not everyone's favorite foods. Some of you might like these things. I like some of them, not all of them. First one's fatty fish. Salmon's a great source of vitamin D. Mushrooms. Not everybody loves mushrooms. I don't mind them, but everybody likes them. Grass-fed beef, great source of vitamin D. Pasture-raised eggs. I wrote liver, yum. I think liver's fucking gross. I've tried so many times to eat it. Every time I'm eating it, I'm like, this is torture. This is what they feed prisoners, isn't it? I just can't do it. I've tried so many different ways, I just can't do it. But liver's a great source. And then the one we mostly use in this country is dairy. Ideally the hard cheeses, the whole fat milks, things of that nature. But again, what we're looking for first, make sure you're eating a clean diet, get outside regularly. And if you're someone who's really intolerant to the sun, you know what I'm talking about, Josh? Yeah. That mean you? Yeah. What we don't want to do when we go outside in the sun is get sunburned, right? So we want to avoid getting sunburned if all possible. So when it comes time to be outside in the spring, ahead of like the warm sunny season, start spending time in the sunshine in off hours. So you can look at this app, see when the peak sunshine is for the day, and try to spend time near there in very small doses and essentially build up what's called a sun callus. What that doesn't allow you to do is to stand out in the sunshine from like noon until 3 o'clock in the middle of summer in July, just be like, I did it for a couple weeks and now I'm good. You still have to build up a tolerance, but if you slowly inoculate yourself to the sun by doing small doses and allowing your skin to naturally tan a bit, you are more tolerant to being outside in direct sunlight. Still, you shouldn't be getting sunburned, but you should be working towards spending time outside without sunscreen on. Personally, my own personal beliefs, I think sunscreen's poison. I don't want it on my skin. Stopped using it years ago. I was the kid that went to the beach. My mom put sunscreen on 87 times. As soon as the first layer had like absorbed, she's like, it's time to go again at SPF 4000. I was literally the kid the color of Steve's t-shirt the entire time I'm at the beach. It's like, it's in my eyes, it's in my hair, it's in my mouth. It's disgusting. So I'm not a big sunscreen person. I'm not saying you can't be, but realize that if you build up some tolerance to sunshine, you don't need to be lathering yourself up with that stuff constantly. Again, once you get outside, the last thing, and the thing you should consider like this time of year where you really can't get a lot of time outside in the sun, take a supplement. A really good vitamin D supplement's like $10, and that's like good for like 6 to 12 months. So a very, very inexpensive supplement. And that's what I'm gonna try to offer you. If I give you the supplement avenue, I don't want you to spend $100 a month on that stuff. I want stuff that's really cheap and easy to follow, and vitamin D is a really easy one. Do you guys have any questions?
How much vitamin D do you get like in a multivitamin?
Honestly, usually somewhere between 500 and 1,000 IUs in a normal, but every single one will be on the back.
Is that enough?
So Steve, no, I would say where we live in the world, we want to shoot for about 5,000 IUs a day. Unless you have a job that's like outside all of the time, year round, no matter what, like you're not getting enough vitamin D in our part of the country from like September to like April. And that's a long time of the year to be deficient in vitamin D. Any other questions? Cool. Thanks for listening, guys. The next one I think I'm gonna do on is gonna be on creatine. I think tomorrow, yeah.